Hello and welcome to the JTrain podcast. That's right, it's a Chit Chat Wednesday, and today I have Nimesh Patel on. Nimesh is an old friend, a good friend, and hilarious comedian. You're going to love this episode for many reasons. Nimesh is also a new dad. He just had a baby, so we talk about his new baby at the end of the episode. But the other topics, I had three topics for Nimesh. I wanted to talk about being a dad, what surprised him, what's his feelings been. I wanted to talk to him about the TikTok ban that is coming. He has been wildly successful on TikTok, and I find out something about him that I cannot believe. I am in shock right now. I'm taping this after the episode. And then we talk about the drones, because he is from New Jersey. He's doing shows in New Jersey this weekend. He's got 7 sold-out shows. I told you, crushing it. And he added an 8th show. So if you want to go see Nimesh, you live in the New Brunswick area, you'll love Nimesh Patel. As for me, I'm going to be in Batavia, Illinois. It's my last weekend of the year. Also, we are sponsored this episode by Aura Frames. The description of the episode has the deal you can get. I'm a big fan of the Aura Frames. I gave one to my parents, and it's been something we text about at least once a week. So that's what's going on in today's episode. We got Nimesh Patel. We're talking about his baby. We're talking about the TikTok ban. We talk about the drones, and it's just fun to talk to Nimesh. We would have had the same conversation whether the cameras were rolling or not. So enjoy. Boom. Welcome to the new JTrain podcast. Hello and welcome to Chit Chat Wednesday. Every Wednesday, I chit chat with a friend, a comedian, and an expert. I have all three here with me today. Good friend, comedian, expert on New Jersey and the Indian culture of the area. He's doing 8 sold-out shows in New Brunswick, New Jersey. And before we even got started, I said, Nimesh, explain to me what the deal is that Indian comics go into New Brunswick and just sell out the joint. Do they all do it? It's you and Akash are selling out 8 shows. Is everyone getting a taste of this dough in the area?
I don't know. Akash has 7 sold out shows, so I have 7 sold out shows as well, but we added an 8th one just to see where it would go.
Right.
And right now, I don't know if you're listening to this before the show on December 22nd, but if you are, come because it's not sold out yet.
Yeah, we got to beat Akash. I guess we're team Kendrick Lamar here.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. But yeah, no, I mean, Brunswick, New Jersey is freaking little India, dude.
I didn't know that.
If you ask any Indian person from New Jersey, and if you meet any Indian person from New Jersey, like, did you go to Rutgers? There's a high likelihood that they'll say yes, because it's the state school and it's the great school, and now it's hyper competitive to get in.
Was that like a thing for them? Were they like aiming for that? Was that like a school? You know, when you find out, like I'll give you an example, okay? Aruba has a huge Boston like thing in Aruba. If you ever go to Aruba, it's because Aruba made a deal with Logan Airport, and they just were like bringing people down all the time. And then over the years, that's where just Boston people went on vacation because it was easy. Go direct, JetBlue, direct to Aruba. You were on the beach by noon.
Yep.
You know, I think this is like kind of like, it's almost like modern day. How do we travel? How do we exist? You know, like how did, you know, you go, oh.
There was no path like that it was just Rutgers. A lot of Indians ended up in New Jersey. Rutgers is a state school, and in-state tuition is very inexpensive if you're a very strong. Yeah, if you're a very strong student, which a lot of my people are. You know, I didn't go to Rutgers, but had I gone to Rutgers, I would have had a full scholarship because I did well in school.
How could you say no to that at a certain point?
Exactly. For a lot of people, like, I was fortunate enough to get a half ride to NYU, so I went to NYU just to not go to Rutgers, basically. But like 99% of people that are at Rutgers, I don't know what percentage, but a lot of them are just super strong students that went for free, and that was the most bang for their buck, you know.
I have 3 things to talk to you about.
Let's do it.
Okay, and I wrote them down, or I'm writing them down now so I don't forget. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Drones. Since we're on the topic of New Jersey, we'll stick with New Jersey. The drones over New Jersey. You grew up in New Jersey. Is this your first? Are you like, oh, these are the drones we've been seeing our whole lives, or do you have a drone opinion?
It's
Um,
easily some robotics students just fucking around.
that's what you think this is?
Bro, they like the drones have like FAA regulation lights on them.
I know. Well,
What
that is, yeah, right.
what alien species is coming in? Like, actually, we're gonna abide by your rules.
Well, that's a good way to hide in plain sight. It's a good way, let's get around this excuse. If an Indian kid, thinks it's not a big deal, we're going to put
Uh-huh.
some FAA things on it to shut him up.
Yeah, no, look, if the aliens are that smart, but just just land here and kill us all already. You know what I mean? Like, what are you
Right.
observing
What's
us
the end
for?
game here? Why are we
No,
taking this, hurry up already. Get rid of
yeah,
us.
it's just it's either that or the military doing something that they can't tell us. You know what I mean? Like, it's
Don't you
nothing
think, but
nefarious.
don't you think this is slow to be like, you can't tell us? Here's when I thought it wasn't a big deal. I don't know if I sent this to you, but I sent it to my brother, and it actually was weird. Like, Trump, Trump is definitely the funniest president that we have ever encountered.
Oh yeah, the Chris Christie McDonald's
The
shot.
Chris Christie thing. So Trump, if we can put it on the YouTube, maybe V will put it up. Trump's response. So everyone's talking about the drones, and Trump. It's probably still there on his Twitter. It's a picture of drones bringing McDonald's to Chris Christie. So he's basically done a fat joke about how these drones are just there to deliver massive amounts of fast food to Chris Christie. And
Uh-huh.
I got almost calmed by that because I'm like, if it is aliens, and I'm not saying I'm like worried every day, but I do have I'm sure I'm like most people, you have a passing thought of like, what the fuck is this? Like I kind of would compare right now to like pre-COVID lockdown almost, because pre-COVID lockdown, we're all joking, we're sending the memes, and then it's like, on a random day we find out like Steven Spielberg or Tom Hanks has COVID, and we're like, I guess we can't leave home now, and like,
Right.
so it does kind of feel like that is going on right now. But then when I saw Trump put out a meme, who this guy was president, it's not like he's never been in the offices. It's not like he wouldn't know if this was like a really important thing. If it is
Exactly.
aliens, it would be like, wasn't our president just like fucking around the other day? Like, and
I
it's
mean,
aliens? Like,
he fucked around with COVID too, though.
right? I don't know why
He was
this
just like-
feels different to me. Like, this feels
He's
even
just like,
worse.
it's a Chinese virus. It's not a real thing. It's like he went through every iteration. This is just,
Right.
it's gonna end up like this is the beginning of the end for all humanity, given Trump's dismissiveness of it.
I mean, what do you think? Any other thoughts? I did that meme make you feel better? Like it made me, because I was like, it must be nothing if he's just
I
turning this into a Chris Christie fat joke.
I hate that I'm like getting roganed out by like all the conspiracy theory bullshit.
Right.
But to me, it's just like if it wasn't anything serious, we wouldn't know about it. They would have like somehow blanketed the media, prevented us from telling about it. Everything would be shut down. There's so much shit like the what didn't get any coverage was when those drones were flying over those military bases in Virginia. That didn't make a lot of news. That was like
Right.
you saw maybe one or two articles. This is like everyone's taking pictures. They're
Right.
super lights. They're making memes out of this shit. This is nothing.
It's like my opinion of bars. Like if I'm at the bar, or no, it's more so vacation spots. If I'm at the vacation spot, it's not cheap anymore.
Right.
Like we are.
Little
we are-
brag, huh?
Well, it's
Jared's
not even a
doing-
brag. It's
Jared's
actually
doing well.
well. I'm happy I have the ability, but if I'm there, I'm not like first one at the island getting the deal.
Right.
I'm idiot tourist who found out via a travel agent who's like, the hot spot is Turks and Caicos, and it's already been priced up. I think this is a similar thing.
100%. This is a nothing. It's just like the media needs to fill the airways with some bullshit, and drones are drones. What kind of no sneaky company or country is going to put lights and sirens on their freaking drones. China's not doing that.
It could be this is like, the one scary thought that I had, and I haven't seen a lot of this, is that like maybe this is like an AI got out of control and they're like trying to figure out how to like control it. We are in the era of like AI. Like you see those articles like, oh, the AI is lying to us, like learned how to lie. And you're like, maybe this is kind of a mistake thing. You know what I mean?
I would hope not, but if it is, I really don't know why we haven't shot them yet. That's my
Well, I
most
saw a guy. Did you see the video of the guy taking his gun out in New Jersey and just shooting into the air? Like,
No.
we are at the point of like, you've let this go on too long. I'm mad at the government for not having an answer. Like, how does Biden not like? How is there no? I mean, by the time this comes out, maybe there's a press conference. But like, how do you like not say to people like, "Hey, don't shoot it," because those bullets
Right.
come down from the sky too?
No, New Jersey will not listen. This is home of Tony Soprano, dude.
Okay, we're gonna go political and then we're gonna go personal by the end of this. Okay.
Sure.
Second question: TikTok ban. You are someone who has exploded on TikTok. This is a part of your like
career,
you know, and I think this is something that's looked over by like, I mean, this is why there's like anger in the community, like our age group and below, because I don't even think like for the government, which is mostly older people of a certain age, I don't think they have a connection to like this has become a part of a large segment of the population's like entertainment and career. Like it's not just entertainment. Like there are people that see serious, you know, elevation and American dream, like.
Thank you, China. Thank you, China, for helping me achieve this dream.
You talked about it on a special. Everyone should go to Nimesh's YouTube channel and go watch all his specials. They're so funny. Also, are we allowed to say?
Yeah.
Netflix special coming out next year, so get involved if you're not already.
What do you think? Tell everyone I had AIDS.
You got to keep upping the stakes. You go from ball cancer, you got to go somewhere from there.
What were we saying? TikTok?
What do you think? Any thoughts?
Well, I mean, I've tried to not worry about things I have no control over. So
Right.
TikTok being banned, like just got to put yourself in a position to capture the market or adapt, and hopefully IG does the same thing. But really, that's what's going to happen. People will just migrate to the next best platform. But TikTok is such a unique, unique algorithm, right? It hits so many different people in such a different way, and B, it's like the interface, like people have come to know it. It's gone from zero to like almost banned in the United States so fast,
right?
That it's become so much part of our culture, and everyone knows that it's so impactful in people's brains that obviously I would be upset if it went away, because of what it would mean for selling tickets and what have you. It would be interesting, it'd be curious, but I think from what I understand, like the ban isn't like everyone has to delete it from their phone. It's just like you can't download it anymore.
You wouldn't get updates. We'd be like stuck in this version forever, which might not be a bad thing. Like whatever the next version is, maybe you don't want that to happen. Would you be able to get paid still from it? I will say, like, to be honest with the audience, like if you have no relation to how people get paid on TikTok, then you don't even realize like what's going on here. You know, like
it has obviously 0 to 100 in my stand-up comedy touring career, right? Like I would not have had one without TikTok, and it's a direct financial impact. It would have a direct measurable financial impact on my life if it were to just disappear from people's phones, because it is a huge part of how I market to people. I don't monetize anything.
You don't monetize your videos?
No, I don't do that.
Why not? I do. I mean,
do you see significant revenue?
Absolutely. Are you kidding me? I mean, money just comes out of nowhere. To me, this is why TikTok is like fraudulent a lot of times, because money just appears out of the sky. Like it is actually weird. Like you suddenly, if you do a minute-long video, or if you qualify your video, you're just given some sort of percentage of revenue that you have not. Like I've asked so little questions because you go, I guess I'll take it. You know.
Is it rent paying?
Yes.
I've been fucking up.
I can't believe you're not. This is why when you see someone like, I have a story for you, and then they start like, you know, kind of like taking their time telling it, they're trying to get to a minute. So like, that's why you
do it with your stand-up clips?
No, the stand-up clips I don't even like think about. When I do the Bachelor live screen, like those clips, I'm already doing it. So like, I put them up in chunks, and those chunks happen to work out to over a minute of watchable stuff. So
and is it view count dependent?
That's the thing I don't know. Like, that's the thing
Uh,
I just see. Like, I'll show it to you when we get together, but like,
yeah.
I can't believe you're not doing this. I mean, like,
I missed out on tens of thousands of dollars.
I think more than that. I think
Fuck.
this is gonna become a viral clip on its own. Nimesh realizing,
no.
well, I don't know if they can go back, but this was the advice I was given. So I started doing it. They'll only pay you in a certain way, only through PayPal. Like, it's a little strange.
Yeah, only through PayPal.
But that's why when you see someone like get a video that pops off doing one specific thing, they keep doing the specific thing over and over again. I've always said that you are in a great position as a stand-up, putting up stand-up videos, because you can fill up something you're repeating something that isn't you doing the same hack bit every time. It's you doing different fun bits, different stand-ups. People
but you've monetized your stand-up clips too, the ones that are minute
everything.
long?
I'll show you. I mean, I'll send you the screenshot of the page after this, and you'll see. Like,
I'm such an idiot.
are you really? I thought everyone was doing this.
No, I had no idea. The user interface for monetizing TikTok isn't clear to me, and to me, I thought it was just like not worth doing, so I just never did it. But I didn't realize it was huge outsized returns like that. I'm gonna start doing it now.
I think it's called Creator, whatever. It's a creator page. You have that page.
Yeah.
If you go to that page and you see like the money that you'd be, I think it even shows you what you would have been paid.
Hold on, let me see something. I'm gonna do this right now.
This is a very exciting episode of Chit Chat Wednesday for people. I can't. I'm actually shocked that you haven't been doing it. Like, to me, like, that's the reason to be. When you see people on that app do, like, that's why it, like, makes me a little angry, because you see people on the app do this, like, sad story that's not really that sad, and they're doing it because they got to capture you somehow, in the same way that a commercial or a TV show would do it, I guess, too. You know, so
let's see, monetization. View all.
You have to opt in.
View all.
While Nimesh looks at this, I'm going to also make some more money.
Well, it says, it's okay. So estimated rewards in the last 7 days.
What's your estimated rewards?
$0. But I haven't created it. I haven't.
Yeah, you haven't opted in.
Yeah.
Hold on. While you're doing this, people, I am sitting here with the Aura frame. If you're watching on YouTube, I have it. I love it. My parents have it. That's the most important part. The Aura frame. If you have parents that want pictures of your kids, their grandkids, or just you and your significant other, if you don't want to deal with them calling and being like, we can't work the pictures. This is just such a beautiful way to get together with your family. My whole family uploads pictures onto my parents' frame. When all is said and done, it's the memories that mean the most to us. This holiday season, give the gift of letting your family relive their favorite times with an Aura picture frame. Named the #1 digital photo frame by Wirecutter, Aura frames are incredible. They're easy to use and let you upload an unlimited number of photos and videos from your phone right to the frame. That means if your kid did something funny at lunchtime, you can send the moment over to Grandma Aura's frame. I just called her Grandma Aura. No, it's Grandma's Aura frame before the meal is even cleaned up. I love Aura. I love what they're doing for people. It is giving you an opportunity to do something fun with your family and share moments. And I will say, you set it up, and then it's done. And then it's a gift that keeps giving, because every time you send a photo, it is like cashing in a fun memory with your parents, or maybe you're a parent and you want to send it to your kid and they're at college. You can get this frame for them and you can upload the pictures there. It's a fun thing to do with family. Aura frames are the best way to share memories, whether it's an embarrassing photo from college or a nice family portrait. Save on the perfect gift by visiting auraframes.com to get $35 off is pretty good. Aura's best-selling Carver matte frames by using promo code JTrain at checkout. That's AURA frames.com, promo code JTrain. This deal is exclusive to listeners, so get yours now in time for the holidays. Terms and conditions apply. So that's our sponsor. It is in the description of this episode. One sponsor for today and tomorrow. Nimesh Patel.
I'm back.
Did you see what you would have been paid? Or
no, not yet.
I'll send you mine. I mean, I'm making money. and I am nowhere near what you're doing on TikTok.
Well,
Because I make more money when it's the Bachelor season because those videos get more views for me. I'm saying with you and stand up.
Yeah, I probably missed out on a lot in my.
I just don't understand. You know, all these Indians in New Jersey, not one of them said to you.
I guess everyone just assumed that I was doing it, and I didn't. I assumed that it wasn't a lot of money.
Listen, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. I'm
about to give China my driver's license.
Yeah, that is a little scary. I did this whole process. I did it over the summer. Yeah. And I was like, oh my God, like, and this is why, like, again, like the TikTok conversation, like banning it, like everyone that you see is getting views. And also this is like the hope index. Like, oh wow, this thing, I'm going to make my business on TikTok. I'm going to create stuff and I'm going to get paid for my creations. Like that inspires people in a certain way, but it also makes art worse, I do think, because I'm going to
ask you. I'm going to ask you after we get off this how much you've made, and I'm going to, regardless of the number, I'm going to be very mad. I think.
I think you're going to be mad. Because for me, it's amount of money that it's like one of those things that I don't count on because I'm like, who the fuck? And you can see the desperation in other TikTokers. Like it has made me look at the app differently because when I do it, I go, it's a thing. I don't know.
I'm gonna assume what your rent is. Has it paid your rent monthly?
It has
Close
a couple months.
Oh my fucking God.
I gotta look it over. Let me. Don't quote me on that.
I mean, even if it's half.
If I'm thinking about it, you know, it's more than.
Yeah, fucking hey, dude. Man.
And it's out of the sky. You're like, I don't understand. And I went to my accountant, hooked it into my whole thing. You go to your accountant, you hooked it. And that's why I know very little. It's like my account. It's gone. Now it's gone into my process of like just money that like comes into my company. Like.
Right. I'm glad I said yes to this Zoom.
I'm glad you did too. I'm glad we're getting this all on Zoom. I'm interested in what the listeners would think.
I'm so mad.
This is why when people hear these stories about like Dane Cook's brother stealing all his money, or like Hollywood people that like lose all their money, it is way more confusing to deal with your finances as a performer, comic, actor than going to one company and getting your paycheck every week.
100%.
Like we deal with so many different confusing and avenues of revenue.
There's so much money out there that we don't even know about that, like, and I mean, like, found money. Like Lenny Marcus, shout out Lenny Marcus.
Yeah.
You know, he put one of my albums on Sirius. You know, he started Skinny Boy Records, and if you don't have an album with him, you should really work with him because he found me 5 figures that was just sitting somewhere.
Really?
In Sound Exchange that I hadn't.
So you didn't set up your Sound Exchange? I
hadn't set it up, and I had no idea. Like I thought, like because I had my album with this original company. My first album.
Hold on, let me stop you for 2 seconds before you get the story. For the listeners at home, viewers on YouTube, Sound Exchange was set up to like get artists their money whenever a track plays on a streaming service. So like, if you go to SiriusXM and listen to comedy radio, there are Nimesh Patel bits that come up. There's Jared Freid bits that come up. I have people take pictures of their radio while they're driving, and we get a little bit of money from that. In the same way that TikTok, similar to TikTok, you're getting a little piece of whatever their revenue is. So some people, if you don't set it up, it's just kind of waiting there for you, right?
Exactly. And that's what, and it was that step. And I had my original album, I had Nimesh in charge with this company. It's still with them, unfortunately, but like they never walked me through all that. And granted, It was my own, but like they would send me like, you know, quarterly or monthly reports saying, it hasn't earned any money or anything like that for them. But because I had the rights to, like, it was just collecting money somewhere. And then once Lenny opened the Sound Exchange and set it all up for me, he was like, Nimesh, you know, you're sitting on this much money. I'm like, what?
And it becomes embarrassing. It's almost like you don't want to talk about it. Lenny, and let me tell
you, listeners,
Lenny Marcus is a comedian. Okay, this isn't like our accountant. Like Lenny's, and not just a comedian, a fantastic, hilarious comedian who everyone should go search out and go listen. And Lenny also, before comedians got wind of this, he had like 7 albums. And you'd be like, Lenny, you have so many albums. Why? Because he kept making albums to get reoccurring revenue.
Passive income, yeah.
And passive income. So Lenny was like kind of first to this whole like put out an album just so it's in the system that gets played and gets you generating, quarters and dimes and nickels every hour or something.
All adds up, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, that like going back to the point is like, yeah, there's so many revenue streams that you got to be on top of, whether it be YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, all that shit. Now definitely TikTok for me. I had no idea.
I'm gonna send you a screenshot. I'll show it to you.
I can't wait to put a gun in my mouth. Well,
okay, another question. My third and final topic. Mm-hmm. You had a baby.
I had a baby.
I don't know. I can't believe I didn't notice you were pregnant all this time. You just had a baby.
Yeah, it's been we've seen each other in a long time.
How's it been to be a dad? How do you feel? Is there anything that what was true? What was not true? What surprised you?
What is true is that one smile can like erase a terrible day. What they don't tell you is like, it's so much work. It's like, I mean,
I'm out.
you're told it's work, but the amount of it is insane. It's just constant, and it's like you have to do it. You know what I mean?
Right. You can't just be like, I'll get to the baby tomorrow.
Right. It's also the most humbling thing because, I mean, unless you're like a pediatrician or like one of these super trained people that knows how to deal with babies and stuff, you think you have a handle on something, and then the next hour it's like, oh yeah, I was completely wrong. That she was not hungry. She's actually just shat her pants. And I had no idea. It's just like constant learning. And you also learn like, you're supposed to talk to them and try to like, teach them stuff and all like at the earliest age possible. And I'm like sitting there looking at her like, I don't really know anything. What can I tell you?
I'd like to teach you how to get on TikTok and make some money from it. You're going to have to call Uncle Jared.
Exactly. Like I don't have, like, I can't talk to her about the markets, like
I would hope not for her sake.
Well, I mean, I was, in the first few weeks, I was just reading whatever I could. So I'd like read the journal to her or read like Hungry Caterpillar. When that got boring, I'd pick up like What's the News and the Wall Street Journal, just like random bullshit. But I realized like I haven't put down or at least articulated any of my learned the life philosophies or secrets or tricks or anything like that, and it's kind of forced me to like actually do that at some point because I'm gonna have to pass on that knowledge in some way or another. So in that sense, it's like mad humbling. Like I don't fucking know anything. I'm looking at this person who's depending on me to do literally everything for her, and besides like feed her, burp her, wipe her ass, and put her to sleep, I can't really do much right now.
What surprised you? Did that surprise you?
Well, I think what is surprising. Currently surprising me is, what I was most looking forward to outside of just like her in general, is like that, like the love of it all, unconditional, is like having a routine. Because kids thrive in routine, and as comedians, like unless we give ourselves routine, we're just flounder. It's the most entrepreneurial thing you can do, and entrepreneurs need to have like a routine and the set way to like go about doing stuff. And a kid thrives in routine. From the earliest you can set them into routine, the better. What's surprising to me is like how quickly those routines shift. And like how long it's taken to get into routine. I thought it would be like, oh, we're gonna get routine like week 2, but no, it's like it takes like a few months to get there.
Right, because you're thinking they don't know better, so like of course they'll do whatever I say, but then it's like no, you're dealing with like a living, breathing human being. Like
everything you do is with a gun to your head. That's the surprise. That's really the surprise. Like I'm eating a burrito, but like now my whole consciousness will never be on burrito. Right. Half of my consciousness will be like is she crying? What does she need right now? Like a very surprising thing too.
Did you find out that about yourself? Like I was thinking, like I remember like my brother and I went out and I had this like passing thought, like he was driving home and I was
Hmm.
like, I was like nervous about my brother getting home driving at night. I remember this was
Hmm.
like years ago and I was like, how would I ever become a parent? Like I'm thinking of like my parents like waiting up for when I get home. I'm like, my brain on my brother at at whatever age is afraid.
Yeah,
Like I can't imagine. I was like that. If I'm this way now, it's gonna get worse.
yeah. I have thought right now she can't drive, so
She
I'm not worried
can,
about.
but
I do. I like the first night or two. We were just like awake, staring at her, making sure like she was alive. Just like worried because they don't. When you get out of the hospital, it's not like they give you anything. They're just like,
right. I've heard this a lot.
here
You
you
kind of
go.
just they go on your way, and you're like, for a lifetime, like this is
Yeah,
it.
you're like this. What? Are you sure? I didn't really prove anything to you guys. You did everything while you were here, so now I got to do this
Does
on my own.
the marriage, you and your wife, does it feel like okay? Does it had initial changes? Is it like this is like a house you're working on together? Would you think of like a kid like that? Like this is like your puzzle that you guys own together?
It's a constant. It's a shifting set of responsibilities where we're both like, all right, I got this,
Mm-hmm.
and you kind of pick up each other's slack. But it's definitely trying.
Right.
It definitely tests like who you are in a stressful situation because there's nothing more stressful, even though it doesn't sound as stressful when you say it aloud, is like when the kid is crying at the top of their lungs, and it's been like an hour and a half, and neither one of you can have eaten or showered or seen the light of day, and you're just like
Right.
in a room or two, and like, what the fuck is going on? And once you're, what, at least for me, when like my once my blood pressure goes up, like my brain, I've had to like teach myself not to spiral,
Mm-hmm.
and just be like, what the fuck? This is all your fault. It's just like, and in my head, I'm obviously not saying that because I know it's wrong and it's not anyone's fault. It's just like, it is what it is. But like, that's been the most trying for myself, was just being like really learning to be patient with myself and the kid and obviously my wife.
It's funny that like as a single guy who's sitting here like looking
Yeah.
at a
You know what I'm
king's
talking
crown.
about?
Yeah, like it is funny. That's the funny part is like any like example I would try to give, like as you're explaining this, I'm like, oh, it's like when the car alarm goes off and you're not sure how to turn it off, and it's like nothing is a human being, like, and it's
No.
like that's why it's got to like it's got to like make you look at my problems like hilariously.
Yeah, you can shake the car to be quiet, Jared.
Right.
You can't.
Hit it a couple times. Yeah, I
Yeah.
get you're right. I can, and those options are meditative almost. Like
Yeah.
the ability to hit the car and shake it. You can't do that with a kid. You're like, okay, that option's out. These would have
Hey,
felt good to at least. You can't blow in the kid like it's a video game.
nope,
Like,
nope, nope. You can't do shit except wonder what the fuck can you do.
right.
And then every video, every book, every doctor, every nurse, every nanny is like, yeah, sometimes they just cry, and you're just like, what the fuck? And like, because like as a guy, and this is true of all men, I think we're like solution oriented people.
Right. Right.
We're like, we see a problem, we must know how to fix it.
Gotta fix
What
it.
what do I do to address this situation? And then a lot of times, like like week 6, they just cry for 3 hours a day. You're just like, what? Like, yeah, they're going through a growth spurt. Their body doesn't know what's going on. They can't talk to you, so they just cry. And
Right.
it's like, oh, all right. And they're like, what do you do? Can you walk away? No, you got to hold them. You got to build the trust and know that they have to know that they're secure and loved. And I'm like, oh, okay. So I guess I'll just get new ears, you know, because it's just like right here. It's like a fire
Right. You
engine going
can't.
off. You can't do shit.
Well, listen, everyone go follow Nimesh so you can support the TikTok that he's going to monetize
Yeah,
soon.
Jesus Christ,
I
man.
can't believe it. And also go to New Brunswick, New Jersey. He's going to be doing 8 shows. 7 are sold out.
Yep.
We want to sell out that 8th show with Nimesh. So go. You're going to love the show. You talking about the kid and the act? You're going to talk about?
I've got some kid jokes. I've got what I like to shout out to Vinny Brand for letting me like the last few years I've always ended the year at Stress Factory.
It's fun.
It's just like a way to it's where the first club I ever did, first show I ever did, first open mic I ever did was Stress Factory Bringer.
It's a great club because it is so a club. It is
it's
like
a club.
so it's out of a movie set about
Yeah.
comedy. Like that's a fun thing to me.
Exactly. And Vinny's everyone's got their thoughts about Vinny. He's a character for sure, but he's been very nothing but nice to me at the venue. And at the end of the year, every year, we kind of I burn all the stuff that didn't make it special. I put away like any old jokes and loose jokes, and I got 8 shows, so I'm gonna be messing around, and so I'm gonna be doing old stuff, new stuff, and then definitely a bunch of kid stuff, and re-recording some albums so that I can give Lenny Marcus more stuff to put in the airways for me.
There we go. Everyone go follow Nimesh at Finding Nimesh on everything. I'm Jared Freid. Back next week. Boom.